welcome to the KatnNat podcast, where we talk to people from the unified generation and promote the inclusion revolution. Next week, one of my favorite franchises releases its newest film, Trolls World Tour. One of the reasons I love Trolls movies so much is because the stories are about finding happiness, inclusion, and being a part of something that is bigger than one person. Today we're talking to Erica Lopez from US Variety. We met her when I learned about their Golden Heart campaign, which features trolls this year. Unlike most charitable organizations that focus on a single problem or issue, Variety focuses on multiple unmet needs of children who are sick, disadvantaged, or live with disabilities and other special needs at a local and national level. Their aim is to maximize the real long-term positivity social impact for all children. They have an amazing program, and we wanted to share their amazing story.
Thank you so much for being on here.
Thank you so much for having me. I've actually, with everything shut down, I've been making it a point to take walks around my neighborhood. So I listened to your podcast as I was walking around the other day. And I love the last one you did about changing the R word to respect, and people first language. I really like that. And the first pod that you did, the interview, that I thought was great as well. So good job on this.
Oh, thank you. We try our best.
Thanks.
Our hardest every day, every podcast.
So, Variety was founded back in 1927, 93 years ago. That's amazing. Variety's mission is to help those with serious illnesses, disabilities, or the disadvantaged. For those who don't know Variety, how did Variety start? Can you tell us that story?
I'd love to. Variety has a really rich history that, like you said, started in 1927. It was actually, before it became a charity, it was a social club. So it was a group of 11 men who were in theater and show business, and they were playing cards one day in one of the theaters. It's called the Sheridan Square Theater in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And so they're playing cards, these 11 guys, and they hear crying coming from an auditorium. So they go to check it out, and it's this 1-month-old baby who's been left. She has a note pinned to her that says, please take care of my baby. I have 8 others. I cannot afford to take care of her. My husband is out of work. I've always heard of the goodness of show business people, and I pray that you'll watch out for her. And so these 11 men worked with the local police and local newspapers to try to figure out who this baby was and who her parents were. And they weren't able to ever find her parents. So they took it upon themselves to become her godfathers and basically fund her upbringing. So they provided for her education, clothing, toys, all of that. And once this story kind of got out to the community, a lot of other people wanted to help as well. And so other people started donating, and then it just became, well, this is too much for one child. So then that is kind of how it got started initially with baby Catherine, who incidentally grew up and she was adopted. She got married. She became a nurse. She had 4 kids of her own. So she lived a really rich life as well. That kind of started from all of these people just taking care of somebody in their community who needed it. And so from that, the organization has grown into a global organization that now has 43 chapters in 13 countries around the world. We have 20 passionate about helping kids who live with a disability or have special needs or are disadvantaged, and just help them to get to their fullest potential by helping with things like equipment, services, and experiences. And that, again, is in the span of 93 years, we've grown to be able to help about 115,000 kids annually and about 1,000 organizations as well that help kind of support the same mission.
That is so incredible.
That's
such a crazy story. Like, that is absolutely amazing.
That is a really inspiring story, and
it is.
Really amazing program for kids and adults in so many ways possible.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I think we're seeing a lot now with everything that's going on with with COVID, we see how people come together when really need it. So it's a wonderful tradition that we're so happy to be a part of that legacy.
Variety has its roots in theater. Is that why Variety's logo has a heart with a top hat? Is Variety still associated with theaters today?
Yeah, very perceptive. Our logo is a heart with a top hat. We also have a cute mascot. His name is Hartley. So he goes to our events, and he's a heart with a top hat, and he's got these skinny little arms and these skinny little legs, and he's got like really big eyes and a huge smile on his face. So he's really cute at the events with all the kids and stuff. But yes, you're right. We did start in theater. We do still have a wonderful relationship with the entertainment industry. We have given away many awards to help acknowledge people who in the community kind of embody what variety is all about. So in the past, we've given awards to people like Audrey Hepburn and Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis Jr. Lots of, really amazing supporters over the years. We have a chapter in St. Louis that has a fantastic program. It's a theater program. And so it's a full-scale production with variety kids on stage and behind the scenes as well, along with equity actors. And so it's just like a huge undertaking that they do every fall. And what's amazing about that program is just as it relates to entertainment, these kids, they're in wheelchairs or they're using walkers, and they're up on stage and they're acting alongside other people as well. And like I said, they're also behind the scenes. So I remember one kid who was working on the lighting for when they did The Little Mermaid back in like 2014 or so. He loved it so much that he actually was going to go off to college in a year or two, and he decided to major in theater so he could study that because he loved doing it so much. So
that is so cool.
Yeah, that we still kind of harken back to our roots with the entertainment industry, and that we can help kids like him kind of discover these passions they might not know that they had. And another relationship that we're really, really thankful for is with movie studios and with movie theaters. We have a signature fundraiser called the Gold Heart Pin Campaign, which I see everybody's repping. That's right. Yep. And it's a fantastic fundraiser that we do annually. We've been doing it for 30 years, in which we partner with a movie studio and we put a character on the pin, and then we sell them in about 800 movie theaters across the country.
Yeah, that's a really amazing. I did not know they did that in St. Louis, and I hope they continue doing that.
Yeah,
because people with disabilities need to get recognized.
Absolutely.
Because they can do way more amazing things.
Absolutely. And that's what we believe is that, a lot of kids, they should be seen for what they can do. And variety steps in to kind of help fill the gap so that they have all the tools that they need in order to be able to achieve as far as they can get.
Yeah. And that's really amazing. And you guys should continue doing that. You do or not.
Yeah, our gold heart pins are actually from Trolls, which is Nat's favorite movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you so excited for the movie to come out on the 10th?
Yeah.
Cannot wait.
I'm a diehard fan since the first movie came out 2016.
Nice. You're like, I'm waiting. Let's go. Let's see the new one.
I know. Come on. Well, anyways, our third question that Katie is going to say is actually about the Gold Heart campaign.
Mm-hmm. So, what inspired Variety to create the campaign? And we touched on this a bit, but what does the campaign raise money for?
Sure. So initially Gold Hearts was started in Great Britain by a Variety International board member named Marcia Ray Ratcliffe. And it was just a plain heart. So it was a small gold heart. And then the next year they put some lines on it, or, just a very generic design. And over time it just grew. And in 2002, we started getting the studios involved. And that's how we started working with them to be able to put characters on them. So since then we've had Mickey Mouse, Yoda, Darth Vader, R2D2, C-3PO, the Minions, Spider-Man, all kinds of amazing, iconic film characters on these pins. And
Yeah.
it's awesome. It's so, like I said, it's been going on for 30 years, and people genuinely care about this program, and they collect them. And I'll get emails from people going, "When's the next pin coming out?" And they're so excited about it. So I've definitely seen people have posted pictures on social media of like just a bulletin board, and all of the pins are all tacked on. So it's cool to see how excited people get about it.
Yeah.
And for us, it's just it's wearing your heart on your sleeve. You know, this is like a small symbol of this is something that I care about. This is my way of contributing, and you know, feeling like you're part of the variety community.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially like when it's like a movie character that's like from one of your favorite films.
Totally.
Like mine, when I noticed that you guys were doing the Trolls pins, I was just going through social media. Trolls posted about the pin. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need this pin because it helps kids with special needs like me. I need this pin.
And it's cute. It's just a cute pin. If you guys are going to actually have one in package that I can hold up if you guys would like to see it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
Two of my favorite characters. Yeah.
And you know, we were so lucky to work with Universal Pictures and DreamWorks Animation on this one because they've been so supportive in helping us with creating the pin, and then as well as marketing items that go in the theaters to help market the pin. And they also did a great PSA for us. It's a 30-second PSA with Rachel Bloom, who's the voice of Barb in the new movie, and we're just so appreciative of everything they've done for us to help us raise money through this campaign.
Yeah, and that's where I saw it also. I saw that picture of Rachel Bloom, so a Barb.
That's
Barb. And that's, I'm like, okay, I need to do this.
Yeah. And what's amazing about the program is that the pins go for a donation of $3 each, which doesn't seem like a lot, but annually it raises about $1 million around the world. Our best-selling pin actually raised $3 million, so it can, you know, it can add up and make a really big impact. Variety raises funds for 3 specific programs. Our first program is our CARE program, which provides for really basic needs, so things like hospital equipment and services. We've done grants to hospitals that allow them to get equipment for NICUs, birthing beds, waiting rooms, even just like, you know, cute little libraries for the kids to be able to go and get some books while they're in the hospital. And also a really basic need is food right now, especially. A lot of kids are going without because with all the schools closed because of COVID. So our Detroit chapter is doing a Variety Feeds Kids program that they'd already been doing prior to this, but now they're sort of ramping it up, especially. So in their area, they're giving away about 1,300 bags of food every weekend to local kids who need it. So that's our CARE program, which again, kind of just encompasses the most basic of needs. And then our second program is our Freedom program. And the Freedom program is really fun. It's about mobility and inclusion and independence. And we achieve that through funding equipment such as adaptive bicycles, walkers, wheelchairs, strollers, house and vehicle ramps, all kinds of things that just help kids be more active and social and feel like they belong. And especially for things like the adaptive bikes, that kind of has a special place in my heart because it's not something that is funded by insurance, and they usually, depending on what this bike is outfitted with in terms of special accessories for the child so that they can ride it independently but also safely, that can be anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000. So, and to raise a child with special needs is about 4 to 5 times more than it costs to raise a child who does not have a disability. So parents are already looking at a lot of costs in terms of you know, doctor's appointments and medications and stuff like that and equipment. So we're really happy to be able to provide some good to our kids to be able to get them equipment like that, which especially in times like these where we're social distancing and people may not be able to go to their physical therapy appointments, if they have an adaptive bike from Variety, at least they can still ride that around outside and still get their exercise that way. And that provides them therapeutic benefits, even if they're, you know, not able to go to their appointments at this time. And then our third program is our future program, which is that's more for things like our variety chapters. Some of them have camps, which are really fun for it. It allows kids to be around other kids who might have the same disability as them, so that they're, it's a great way to make some lifelong friendships and do some really cool experiences. I don't know if you guys have ever rock climbed or jumped off a wall, like with a crazy swing. Like we have a chapter in Texas that has a camp that does cool stuff like that. And we also offer educational scholarships, art programs, outings to movies and sporting events, and holiday parties during the summer. So it's a wide scope of what we do, but what's great about it is that we're able to help a lot of kids because we don't focus on a specific disability. So we help with a lot of different things, and from birth to 21, we're helping through all stages of their life and just helping as many kids succeed as we can by filling in those gaps.
That is awesome. And the bike, like doing the bikes, it means really something to me too, just like you, because I got a bike just like that, like you said, and since I can't ride a normal bike with 2 wheels, I have a bike with 3 wheels.
Yeah.
Because that helps me much better than a normal bike.
Yeah.
So those types of bikes that you are talking about, like I know my dad told you about my bike, and that means so much to me that you guys do those things, because yeah, like you said, it can be hard raising a kid with special needs, and parents with special needs, they might not know what to do. So at least we have something like you guys that they can contact or have for kids who need something like this.
Yeah. And actually, I know that Special Olympics, very close to your heart, we've actually worked with them as well. A few of our chapters have provided grants to their local Special Olympics chapters.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Nat competed in cycling with Special Olympics, actually.
Oh,
yep.
So,
yep, I did. That was actually my first sport, actually. My second sport I play is soccer, so
nice.
So I still have that. But,
never played soccer in my life, probably not going to start now.
Yeah, no. I have my indoor bike, so I still love cycling. It's just have to do indoors.
Yeah.
So right now, Trolls World Tour is coming out April 10th on digital and in theaters, and we are really excited about it. So in the movie, inclusion matters, that differences are okay, and that communication is important. In Trolls World Tour, the character Cooper, played by Ron Funches, talks about being more than one thing. Like I saw from a clip, this is exactly what the clip was. He was saying he's not just pop and funk, he's both.
Yeah.
So he's just not, he's from the funk trolls, but he was raised by the pop trolls, so like 2 genders of music means something to him. So he's a pop and funk troll. So our question is the question is, why is it okay to just not be just one thing? Like Cooper, he's pop and funk.
Well, why not celebrate all these different aspects of life, right? Why put yourself in a box and limit your identity to just one thing? If you like, cycling and soccer, you can be great at both, and you can enjoy both.
Yeah.
You don't have to be just a cycling girl or just a soccer girl,
Yeah.
Here's a question. So since the program has started, there are now 19 pin sets that were sold, but not all of them are available now. So what do you say to anyone who wants to collect all the pins?
So we normally sell the pins annually, starting around Thanksgiving in theaters. And as we know, cinemas are having a hard time right now. So our thoughts have been with our cinema friends the last couple of weeks with a lot of hard decisions to make. But they're wonderful supporters of us, and it's a strong industry, and I'm sure they'll be back, and that they are going to continue supporting us, and we are so appreciative of it. In the meantime, we have our pins on our website. We probably got like 10 pins on there, but for the pins that are not on our website, anybody can feel free to email me. My email is Erica, ERICA, @usvariety.org, and I can go in the cave and see if we have any extras of some of them sitting in the back that we can go ahead and send out.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Variety has 21 chapters in 15 states. So would Variety consider having one here in Utah? Salt Lake.
My dream would be to have a variety chapter in every state. We want to help as many kids as we can. Although, to be honest, the ideal scenario would be that there was no variety, that there was just no need for us and our services. But, the truth is that there's always going to be kids who need us. And so as long as they need us, we'll be stepping up. And we cannot thank our donors and supporters enough because we can't do what we do without them. And their support just means the world to us. So we'd certainly love to have a chapter in Utah. And what's great about Variety is that money that's raised in an area stays in an area. So anybody who donates from Utah, that donation will stay in Utah to help kids in that area. So we try to keep geographically centered so that people know they're helping people in their own community.
That's what's so cool about Variety, with like all your programs having like not only basic needs, but getting into like entertainment and stuff. Like you said, it's so important to have that culture and community for children who are underprivileged. And you guys have a variety of programs.
We do.
but that's what is so cool about Variety. It's always
thank you. Yeah, and we've got some funny stuff coming up. We just launched, prior to everything happening in the last couple of weeks, we launched a program with B&B Theaters in which we started offering sensory backpacks. So at the front desk, you can rent a backpack that has a weighted lap blanket, sunglasses, noise-canceling headphones, a fidget spinner, things like that. So for kids who have sensory needs, if they need that in order to feel comfortable during their movie, then they can rent that for free and just use that, while they're watching their movie, because inclusion is so important to us, and we want to make as many places as possible friendly to all audiences, no matter what their needs may be. So, we work with a lot of places that do sensory screenings already, and then this is just kind of adding another layer of support for that community.
That's so cool.
That is awesome. Okay, so for those states that don't have a chapter, how can we get one started?
For us, really, the most important thing is finding people who are going to be really passionate about it. It does take a lot of time and energy to be a volunteer, and when people get busy with jobs and families and things like that, we want to make sure that they're still giving 110% to Variety, because at the end of the day, the kids are going to win. So to us, it's just really, really important to find people who are going to remember that through some of the, long nights or challenging times. We want to make sure that it's, a strong community of people with a lot of different skills who can help bring a lot to the table. So, we're really just looking for people who can make the commitment, and then they can reach out to me again at that email address, erica@usvariety.org, if there's any interest.
This is our last question.
Okay.
So Variety is all about helping people with special needs. And if people want to volunteer to help, how can they get involved?
We would love that. So there's so many ways to help. kind of the easier things would be to go to our website, which is usvariety.org, and you can get yourself a troll pin or make a donation.
Yeah.
You can follow us on our social media, which on Instagram is US Variety, and then we're on Facebook as Variety, the Children's Charity of the United States. You can also use our website, usvariety.org, to find your local chapter, and then you can reach out to them directly to see if they have a need for volunteers. Many of our chapters have had to postpone events, but maybe when those are back up and running, they might need some help with that. If you have any special skills, if you're great at marketing or graphic design or something like that you want to contribute, and reach out to your local chapter and see if you can offer that. We hold a lot of events, so maybe you have some auction items that you'd like to donate. There's a lot of different things we can do. So really just follow us at usvariety.org and contact your local chapter, and we would love to work with you.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Erica.
Thank you guys for having me. It was so much fun chatting with you.
Yeah.
You too, Erica. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KatnNat Podcast. Also follow our private accounts at Katie M. Hutt and Nat Squeaks.